All right, hey folks, welcome back. It's your boy Murph with the show with no name. This is our third episode, well, my third episode. We've gone by Man in the Basement, we've gone by Murphy's Raw, Cassidy. I don't know, if you got a suggestion for the name of the show, right now, if you want to find it on YouTube, look under the Man in the Basement, look under Cassidy, look under the Telling the Truth. Something like that. Just try to find me, look under my name. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Trust me, the ones who have seen the show, thank you so much. Getting a lot of love, a lot of respect. I'm going to try to put the comments back up because people they're putting me on the Instagram. Hey, why can't I leave a comment? I don't know. I'm not very good. I don't have an intern. If you're out there, you're 18 years or older, you want to enter it, if you have a useless kid who needs something to do for the summer, you know, he's going to graduate, has no job, needs a few bucks, whatever, leave a comment or whatever. But yeah, here we are. So basically the show is, it's a no nonsense, no BS, get right to the point. I answer your questions, I take your emails, and just in general too, sometimes people catch me at a restaurant or whatever, they ask me a question, and I tend to give them an answer, but I like this format. So yesterday we did months, why do certain ethnicities get certain months. Show before that we did these college punks. What gives them the right? College, come on, man. I still can't go back. I get a little emotional. I was going to go down to UCLA yesterday, but apparently, excuse me. I was going to go tomorrow, but the fracas is over. And I don't care anymore. I mean, I still care. My heart's with Israel. Clean that stuff up. Cops. I know the cops. I love the cops. I support the blue. I back the blue. But the handcuffs are being put on the cops. I told you I got batoned one time for pissing in a bush. These kids are lighting fires to buildings, and they're getting slap on the wrist, let out the next day. But anyway, that's not here nor there. We can retouch that. We can revisit that on another show. Today's show, I want to talk about a question I get asked often. And we'll have a little fun with it. It won't be as serious, but it'll be informative. And first and foremost, that's what I want. I want my audience to be informed, ask questions, tell jokes. Hey, love it, hate it, indifferent, I don't care. So, one of the questions I get asked, if you couldn't tell already, I'm from the East Coast. I'm from just outside the Boston area. It's called Greater Boston. It's like 4 or 5 miles from downtown. Everything you expect. If you've ever seen one of those movies, like a Ben Affleck movie, Matt Damon movie, time has marched on. But that was like more my generation growing up, Irish kids being stupid and, thugs, fights, stuff like that. I went back to Boston about a year ago. The place was basically Berkeley, California. I mean, I did not identify a thing, vegan this, gluten-free that, I don't know, pride flags everywhere. I ain't homophobic or anything like that, but when I was a kid, if you didn't have an Irish flag and an American flag, you didn't have a flag. I saw a Canadian flag. I was walking around the old streets, I saw a Canadian flag. Do you know how badly a Canadian would have been beaten in my neighborhood? We're Bruins people. We're not Montreal Habs fans or anything like that. You're a Canadian? You might as well been a German in 1941. So it's I do recommend you go to Boston. If you love history, that still stands. You can still see some pretty cool stuff. They haven't spoiled everything. You can still get a lobster roll, but now it's $35, where when I was a kid it was about $5. The Constitution, the boat, the ship, that's still there. Faneuil Hall's still there. Haymarket, things like that. The North End, I don't know how the Italians do. There's a camera right here, by the way. I don't know. I was trying to mess around and like do this, but like I said, I need that intern. So if you see me look like this, you know, it's just me trying to be technical, and it's probably not going to work. Hey, I want to shout out real quick before I get into my international friends out there in the Netherlands, Chile, Germany, Finland, all them cats. Hey, hit me up, watch this show, and if you want to intern, if you want to come here for the summer LA, hey, we can make that happen, because by now you guys are going to be like in your 20s. But yeah. No, I like all the European kids, and I always teach them lessons, so they should be watching the show, because I know their English sucks right now. They probably don't even understand a word that's coming out of my mouth. Jeffrey, talking to you. You only call me when you're blah, blah. Anyway, that's neither here. That's my blood. That's my kin. Anyway, what was I saying? Go to Boston, hit the tourist sites. The food stinks. The people stink. It's very hippy dippy. It's very woke. I can't stand the woke. That's of no surprise. When I grew up, men were men. Men got their hands dirty. Men carried things. I saw a guy. I was in Boston. His wife was carrying the groceries. Homeboy was carrying the toilet paper. I almost went across the street and slapped him in the back of the face, back of the head. But that is Boston, okay? But keep in mind, this episode is Boston versus California, or East Coast versus California. So shortly after I graduated, now I want to take it to New York. Now I'm an adult. Now I'm a man. I worked in the industry, and by the industry, everybody in California just, the industry, he's in the industry, he's in the greatest part about New York is there was the industry. There was the industry. There was Broadway, there was music, there was tons of comedy, soap operas, commercials, everything like that. I don't know if it was on maturity or just whatever. Nobody took it so serious. Everybody I knew was in an infomercial, an industrial video, a commercial, an extra in a movie, an extra in a commercial. Like, everybody had a story. And we'd all blow our paychecks at the bar after the shoot. It was great fun, because everybody had a story about, like, the dude who took himself too serious. Like, I went to Juilliard. It was like, yeah, great. Yeah, you know, homeboy shaves his chest. You're like, come on now, man. Like, I started as a model, believe it or not. And I hated it because it was gay. And I have nothing against gay, but it was aggressive gay. Now, if you're a cool guy, yeah, all right, man. You want to watch a game, grab a drink, cool, whatever. I don't care. But if you're that gay, you know, I'm like, yeah. Can I just get paid and get the hell out of here? And if you go back to the bar, you blow your check, everybody, you know, laughs, tells a story. See, the New York bar was family. Excuse me, family. Everybody knew everybody. You didn't even, I mean, we had a tab system. This is in like the early 2000s. If you didn't have it, I'll get you a week from now, get you days from now. Murph's good for it, you know. And sometimes I just didn't have a credit card until I was like 25 years old. I was just a cash business, and you know, I get my check, cash it, sure, and yeah. All right, Murph, next week, yeah, you got me. Come back, they're knocking $20. You made us laugh. I'll knock $20 off it. All right, cool. That was New York, and that was all over New York. Bars, everything, songs, music. Now, I'm not saying it was paradise. Now, I'm making it sound like paradise. It was not. I mean, there was still muggins, there was still thugs, there was still punks, there was still, you know, you didn't want to walk certain streets, certain hours for sure, alone, you know. I think 2-3 times I ran for my life. You know, I ain't too proud to admit it. You know, a couple of hyenas can take down a lion, and certainly I was no lion. I was more like a lemur. But yeah, I was tall and I had long legs and I was athletic, so I could get the hell away. But the family aspect and the money and the cheer and the mirth, and everybody knew everybody. So if you wanted to go to a club, I'd go up to, I'm not going to say her name, she knows exactly who she is. So and so, hey, me and my girl want to go to this club. Can we get on the list, please? Done. Front of the line, it was. There's an expression that I was learned. You learn quick. This is how New York functions. If you can make it past 3 months, you can make it. If you can't survive 3 months, go home. Just go home. And I was working at this bar. I was doing modeling. I was modeling for like J.C. Penney and like Old Navy, and these were good gigs. I loved it. You know, jacket over the shoulder, polo, whatever, and then to subsidize, I was a bartender. I was working with this black guy, Jamal, born and raised Brooklyn. And I'm not going to say his hustle, but he had I don't know, half a dozen hustles. And he taught him to me. I was like his Daniel-san to Mr. Miyagi. And he said, everyone in New York is a hustler. If you're not a hustler, you're a tourist. And that sunk deep. And then I started getting, I never did drugs, I never did that. But, you know, gimmicks and, you know, I help people out, certain things. And that was New York. And once you catch the vibe of New York, once you're in the vein, that's what I would call it, the vein. Once you know how to walk the streets, once you know how to navigate, once you know, you don't need no map. First of all, if you ever go to New York, please don't look at a map. You're asking to get jumped or robbed or pickpocketed. Please go to your hotel, mentalize it. You know, almost like, you know, just get it in your head. Do not go rolling up to the subway. What's uptown? What's downtown? You know, please. That's just friendly advice from your buddy Murph. And that goes to those international kids too that I almost whacked around who came to LA and they started doing the same stuff. Yeah, if you don't know by now, I get excited on this show. I've been warned so many times. I have a producer. You'll never see her. But she's always like, calm, because I got high blood pressure. She's like, you got to calm down. People don't like it. I disagree. I think people do like it because it shows concern. So yeah, before you leave your hotel in New York, you know every step you take, like the Police song. Every breath you make, every step you know where you're going. Do not look around like a goofball. That is a flare in the air for everyone to rob you. So that's my advice for the East Coast. Did I have a ball out there? Yeah. And that's the other thing too. When I mentioned family, friends, you could go to any. It was like back in like the 1950s. You could just show up. I had keys to people's houses, and I could just show up and like borrow DVDs, take a nap, you know, feed their dog, take the dog for a walk. It was. I don't know if that still exists. I'd like to believe it does, but I doubt it. You know, I think that COVID lockdown, I think that screwed everything up. But man, we cheered each other on. Friends were opening businesses, fashion shows. People were in bands, comedians. I mean, we were selling out shows. It was. I don't think if I could write a movie, I would write a movie called 2003 or 2004 because you'll never see anything like it. You'll never see you just walk in your house and some dude's playing PlayStation 4 and you don't care because you know them. And we had keys, we had everything, no cars. That's the other thing, question, transportation. It was Subway. It was legs and Subway. Bus here, there. I hated the bus because the bus was never on time. Subway would shut down. But then you could hit the bar. right up the thing. Like they put a thing like Subway will be running in 2 hours. I'm like, all right, I got 2 hours to kill. Hit the bar, talk to the guy next to you. You want to split a pitcher? Yep, I got nowhere to be. All right, cool. One of the coolest New York stories I ever had in my life. Kid same age as me, sat down at the bar waiting for the Subway. Said, what brings you to town? He goes, I said, first of all, I said, do you want to split a pitcher? He goes, yeah, complete stranger. He goes, I was just going to ask you the same thing. And I said, we laughed. I go, what brings you to town? He goes, I'm on a military break. I'm here to see my DJ friend. I'm like, all right, cool. Split the pitches. Night goes on and on. Now the train running. We could leave. He goes, come with me. Let's go see my DJ friend. Go, hot girl, bumping club, free admission. I just met this guy a couple hours ago. And see you later, buddy. Couldn't meet you. Pound, bear hug. Never saw him again. Didn't swap MySpaces. Didn't swap Friendsters or anything like that. Sometimes a moment is just a moment. Just a moment. I don't know if he tells the same story about me. I hope he does, because we had a great night. But see you later. Stay safe. God bless you. And that's it. Back on the train. It stuck with me. That was New York. That was New York. Now, I don't know if it's changed. I don't know. I'll probably never live there again. I hated the rats. I hated the cockroaches. I'm telling you all the rainbow stuff. But man, yeah, there was some guy pissing on my front door one day. Cops harassing you once in a while, but with due cause, you shouldn't be pissing on a car and then get upset at the cops. It's a life lesson for the younger kids. Wasn't me. I was just there. So yeah, that's easy. And the weather sucks. The weather absolutely sucks. Summer, you're sweating your balls off. It's disgusting. It's humid. Winter, sloppy ass snow, freezing cold, splash, the gutters splash up on you, crowded subways, people sneezing on you, really disgusting stuff. So I gave you the good, I gave you the bad, I give you LA. Now, not a lot of my friends, not a lot of my colleagues made it out to LA, but they're curious, super curious. Let me tell you something about LA. How do I start? Well, first of all, the weather is phenomenal. You can't beat it. You really can't beat it. Sometimes a little too hot. You get under a tree, you're fine. Keep yourself hydrated, you're good. Blackouts from the AC suck. But let's talk about the neighborhood. The neighborhood, I'll bring this back. So in New York, the industry was hilarious. Everybody knew everybody. I'd walk into an audition, this is New York, I'd walk into an audition, I'd see a dude, and I'm like, I ain't getting this job. I know this dude's getting this job. But there was no jealousy. I was like, maybe at the very least I'll be this guy's buddy. Pick up a few $100, maybe $1,000, Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, how's it going? Yeah. I know, yeah. You want to read the sides together? Yeah, sure. I don't care, man. We both know how this ends. But yeah, once in a while, he'd be like, hey, Murph's pretty good. We work well together. Make him the buddy. So I'd be the buddy. LA, industry, horrible people. Horrible auditions, horrible, cutthroat, nasty people. There's no, these people have never smiled. They go in, if you've ever been into a locker room before a big game or a big fight or, I must, I will, it's laughable. I was dying laughing. Look at it, and granted, everybody hated me because I couldn't take it seriously. I'm like, dude, you have 2 lines. I gotta get this. I'm like, it's 2 lines. It's not the make or break if you don't get the Nestle Quick commercial, dude. You gotta maybe, the old expression, don't quit the day job. And there's also this weird, psychology that if you in yourself with these people you don't like, somehow you're gonna climb the social ladder and everything's gonna be good, and the next thing you know, you're hanging out with Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks, or whomever. It's so intense. It's like what I said with New York. You go to this audition. I was on some soap opera, right? I had 2 lines. I was like, "Hey, we have to leave now." I was like a fireman, and I go back to the bar, tell the story. Everybody's laughing. They tell the same story, and you'd think they just won an Academy Award. It's like, there I was on set, and they had craft services, and I said, "Hey, we have to go now," and everybody applauded, and I had my own chair. No, stop it. And there's nowhere to go. There is nowhere to go, because when I would go back to Brooklyn and hang out my local bar and tell my friends, they would die laughing. When you do that in LA, everybody one-ups you. "Oh, that's nothing. I was once on the set of Grey's Anatomy, and I said, pulse check." It just keeps going like that. And meanwhile, I'm in the corner dying laughing. I got a homie I do another show with. Him and I, we go back and forth because he's seen the other side of the curtain too. And that's LA. You can't make friends off that because you can't talk shop 24/7. I'm sorry. You have to have another life. When I'm in New York, man, "Hey, do you want to go to the Yankees game?" I'm a Red Sox fan, but yeah, sure, I'll go to the Yankees game, whatever. "Hey, you want to go to the museum?" "Yeah, sure, I like the museum. I love art. Yeah, let's do that." "Hey, do you want to go to the hot dog eating contest?" "Hey, yeah, sure, whatever. LA is strictly, "Hey, let's get together at Coffee Bean and discuss our careers." I would go to Coffee Bean. I did this one time. Everybody thought they were the greatest scriptwriter in the world. Everybody thought they had the next big thing. And and the coffee wasn't even that good. I was just sitting there painful. I was trying to be respectful. And and that's one of probably 1,000 a night. So as much as I trash LA, I love the weather. You're lucky to get 4 friends. 3 to 4 friends. If you have 3 to 4 friends, you're over the mark. New York, I had hundreds. LA, I have 3 to 4. One's in the industry. We're partners, but we do other stuff together. We'll go for nature hikes. We'll hang out. We'll play badminton or whatever. Everybody else is Mexican. All my friends are, and I have one white friend and his wife, but I've known them since New York. Other than that, I don't really have any friends. I go to chain, because in New York we didn't really have chain restaurants. They weren't cool or hip. Out here it's all chain restaurants, so it's hard to even connect with the bartender. Because in New York they would just hook you up. Get me next thing. Don't worry about it. It's on the arm. Whatever. Here they got to write a check. Hey, this camera's on me. This camera's on. I'm sorry. So the social life out here is terrible. I know you see the movies and the paparazzi outside the club. Those parties, I went to one. I was in some I don't even know how I got on the list. I don't even know why I went. It was some middle of the road movie, and I went, and you see it that the stage is no better than this. It's the same budget, only everybody's dressed in like tuxedos, and like I'm in like Old Navy. I'm like, I just want to get this over with. You know, got my free drinks, hung out for a bit, and then took off. It was so boring. I was like, oh my God, these people suck. LA dominates. Well, I should say California dominates New York in nature. New York, you got Central Park. You do have Central Park. It's pretty cool. You know, you got the homeless guy pissing in the pond. You got, you know, the lady choking her dog because the guy's bird watching. Yeah, you get stuff like that. But it's nice. You can picnic. Most of the time, people don't harass you. LA, California, you got... I mean, I seen a deer walking down the street, and not like a rural street, like you see deer, like just out. You see coyotes, which I hate. But you got trails everywhere. You got, everybody loves hiking out here. You can't beat it. You really can't beat it. I'm not even gonna try to crap on it. If you're a hiker, if you're into nature, if you're into that stuff, but keep in mind, this is different from East Coast hiking. My friends are always like, yeah, I'm going hiking. And you walk a trail. Now, hiking in LA is like you're summiting a mountain. It's difficult. It's hard. I tried it a few times and I was like, nah, not for me. You know, but yeah, so that's one thing. Neighbors, the neighborhoods, different. You know, New York, everything close together. People typically know each other. You know, Poppy down at the bodega. You know, Maria next door. You know your neighbors. You look out for your neighbors. I've lived in California 7-8 years. I don't know anybody. I mean, I'm on a high body kind of thing. The Mexicans like me. The blacks like me because during the COVID lockdown, remember they came out with the snitch on your neighbor, get like $100. And if you don't know anything about blacks and Hispanics, they barbecue. And I'm not talking like 3 dudes sitting around with a cheeseburger and a Corona hanging out. I mean, the familia rolls in. And I'm the one white guy. At the time, there's another white guy. I was the one white guy. And I'm like, if anyone snitches on these people, who do you think they are? And I didn't care. So the Mexican family came over and they're like, Fiesta aquí. And I was like, yeah, sure. I brought like my little Bud Light thing. And this is like three years ago, I guess. And there's Modelo stacked up. There's, I don't know, 40, 50 kids running around. Nobody wearing a mask. I'm not wearing a mask. Food galore. They had a taco man. The black guys across the street, hey, come on over here. You want to try some barbecue? I was like, yeah. It was a time. We had the time of our life, and no one dared put in a call to the police, man. That's the thing out here. Like we tend to handle things in house. You know, we might not know each other's names, but we know who lives where and who belongs where. And you know, I see you checking out somebody's car. You live here. You know, you're gonna get called on. New York, Boston was more like, yeah, we know our neighbors. Open door policy. We know you have 6 kids. We know you have 10 kids. Blah 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 blah. New York changed. The hipsters changed everything. Hipsters are just very antisocial. They only roll with their circle. I kind of mentioned it on the first episode. I think I'm going pretty long here. I didn't know I was going to get so deep, but we get. Oh, L.A. no Irish bars. Absolutely no Irish bars. They have bars with like Irish names like L Dublin, you know, and it's like, what's this? You walk in and it's like, hey, what's the special today? Tequila. Ah, okay, cool, yeah. Can I see a menu? Yeah, what do you got? Yeah, street tacos. Oh, okay, all right. But we got shamrocks and, but they try. They try, and I appreciate it. But yeah, folks, I think I went a little long, but I love this episode. I love this show, and I want to keep them going. So I'm going to try to get them comments up. And like I said, to any potential intern, international kids, if you have questions, comments, concerns, hit me on. I know a lot of you's got me on WhatsApp or Instagram or whatever. So this weekend I'll probably sit down, crack it up, break it open. I might even have to call one of you fools to get some advice. But yeah, I love this show. I dig it. Dig the studio. I really did try to go 2-camera, but I'm just happy I got the one functioning. So hey, stay tuned, be safe. The show with no name, it's either The Man in the Basement, Murphy's Raw, Cassidy. As soon as I get it going, I'll post it all over IG, and then I'm going to need your help, especially you young cats, to spread word. And like I said, if you got a topic for a show, question, comment, concern, you let me know. But yeah, man, as always, old Murph, keeping it real, and see you next time. All right? Peace. Watch.